Good morning, Lagos. Good morning, Nigeria. Welcome to the Tuesday edition of The Conversation here on Lagos Television. I am Abimbola Yolo.
Good morning and welcome. I am Ajibola Ojeshola.
Good morning and welcome, Ajibola. I am Adebimpe Omotayo.
Am I the program that you're welcoming me?
She just wanted to make you feel like, oh, okay, because you weren't here yesterday. Yeah.
Adebimpe, please, I'm trying to manage my voice, so I don't want to laugh too much. I don't want to shout.
Abimbola, you should have heard his voice on Thursday. It was cracking on there. Bele.
Thank you.
Okay. But I know that it is not the conversation that stresses you, Ajibola.
He's a hustler.
Well, it's a combination of so many things.
It's Lagos hustle. It's Lagos hustle.
You'll be just fine. All right, welcome to the show. You know how we do it here. We always begin the program by taking the news points for the day. Then we go on to the X platform to take a look at one of the many issues trending before we delve into our different conversations for the day. So let's begin the show with the news point. All right, let me start so I can give Ajibola, some breathing space here. The first story today is drop in food, gas costs reduces inflation to 23.18%. Average cost of living improved further as declining food prices and cost of logistics pushed inflation rate lower at 23.18%. Latest inflation report released yesterday by the National Bureau of Statistics, the NBS, showed that headline inflation rate dropped by 130 basis points from 24.48% in January to 23.18% in February. The report attributed the decline in headline inflationary pressures to notable reductions in prices of general staples, among others. According to the report, compared to the month of January, there was an observed decline in the average prices of food items like yam tuber, potatoes, soya beans, flour of maize and corn meal, cassava and dried bambara beans, among others. The latest report is the second release after the NBS rebased the Consumer Price Index, the CPI, and realigned its constituents to reflect historical changes in the economy. Prior to the rebasing, inflation had stood at 34.80% in December 2024. Experts had commended the rebasing, given changes in consumption patterns as the new methodology and composition were seen as more reflective of the economic dynamics. And the latest report also underlined a general improvement in living cost, with month-on-month inflation rate declining from 10.68% in January to 2.04% in February. Well, that's it on for this particular story this morning, and I'm sure that what will be on the lips of Nigerians will be, at what point in time will this drop really reflect on the general market's indices? Because, from 24.48% in January now to 23.18%, that's good on paper.
Good on paper, like you said. And, when I was going through this particular news point this morning, what came to my mind is the question I was going to put to you and Adebimpe. You go to the market. Is it reflecting?
Well, in some instances, you could find a little bit of reduction, and like I said, in certain places. For example, I know that the price of tomatoes has dropped from what it used to be. I know that in January, a crate of tomatoes hovered between, depending on where you're also buying from, if you were buying in mile 12, it hovered between 25 to 40,000. But now you can actually get a crate of tomatoes at 16,000.
Wow.
Some you can buy for 15,000, and some, if you're buying bulk, you can actually buy cheaper. So like I said, it depends on where you're buying. And again, you know, some of these things are seasonal. But you cannot now, Tatashe, you can't even, that one is on the high side. And I think Gary also dropped a bit.
I don't know for now because I still have my stock, which
I bought Gary at
December.
3.5 2 weeks ago.
And how much was it before now?
Again, it varied.
Is it not
Okay,
5?
depending on where you're buying.
4,000?
It was. I think the
4,000.
last time I bought, before I bought this one, I think it was 5,000 or 5,500.
How long ago was that?
Maybe that should be in November or
In
December.
January, it was 4,000 the bucket.
So
Gary-
I bought
Gary
3.5.
It is now 3.5. Well, that's quite
bought
significant
3.5.
as well. Then
So-
how much is a crate of egg now?
A crate of egg is still
657.
is still depending on the size.
Okay.
Depending on the size. So, but I think the cheapest you can still buy at the moment is 5,000.
It's 5,000. Yeah.
Now, all this paperwork, all this paper mathematics, we cannot really confirm except for a few things that Abimbola and Adebimpe mentioned. But Nigerians are really waiting to feel the significant impact of this drop in inflation rate.
And I think, yes, as much as we blame government, I think sometimes also we need to also talk to ourselves. Because there are times that deliberately these market men and women will not want to bring down the prices because they've been...
they are used to the gains.
Yes, they are cutthroat
Oh,
with the
God.
profit. And so for them, why would they bring it down? But we need to get to that era where if you're buying cheaper, then sell cheaper. We can't continue to maximize profit at all times. If your profit is above what it should be ordinarily, pity us, pity those of us that are buying it, and then just do the needful. But you'll find some people that have the conscience, and they will sell
Cheap.
you know, but with knowing that they were still making profit. But for some people, they want to make that profit once and for all because they don't know what the market prices will say again tomorrow.
And then we shout all the time, it is government, it is government. We are the government.
We all are government. We all are government. But
All right, from that drop in inflation rate, we are moving to Rivers State, rivers of drama, rivers of crisis. Impeachment move. Tension in Rivers as Assembly serves Fubara misconduct notice. Tension and apprehension gripped Rivers State yesterday following the initiation of impeachment proceedings against Governor Siminalayi Fubara and the Deputy Governor, Professor Ngozi Odu, by the State House of Assembly. The Martin Amewele-led Assembly, loyal to the former governor and the Minister of FCT, Nyesom Wike, served Fubara and Professor Odu with a notice of alleged gross misconduct, signaling an imminent impeachment process. The notice listing the alleged misconduct sent to the Speaker was a sequel to a letter dated 14th of March 2025, signed by 26 members of the Assembly. The Speaker, Amewele, sent the notice in two separate letters. Is signed on Monday, March 17, 2025, and addressed to the Governor and his deputy. The development has escalated the political tension in the state as some Ijaw groups had threatened a crisis in the region if the Governor is impeached. Recently, the Ijaw National Congress and the Ijaw Youth Council and other groups expressed strong opposition to the potential impeachment of Fubara, who is of Ijaw descent. They warned that such actions could lead to unrest, emphasizing their commitment to defending the governor's mandate and cautioning that his removal might destabilize the region and affect oil production. Sensing the potential danger, President Bola Tinubu last week invited leaders of Pan-Niger Delta Forum, led by its Board of Trustees co-chairman, former Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Victor Atta, and King Alfred Spieth. Also in the delegation was the National Chairman of PANDEF, Ambassador Godnose Igali. Addressing the delegation, Tinubu said, yes, Niger Delta is the goose that lays the golden egg. We must care for the goose, otherwise we'll lose the golden egg. And let me go to the latter part of the story, where the letter listed 19 constitutional breaches and infractions by the governor. We, the undersigned members of the Rivers State House of Assembly, hereby forward to you a notice of gross misconduct by the governor of Rivers State in performance of the functions of his office, reckless and unconstitutional expenditure of public funds, contrary to Section 120, 121, subsection 1 and subsection 2, and 122 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria of 1999 as amended, hindering or obstructing the Rivers State House of Assembly, which is another arm of government protected by the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, among other allegations of misconduct leveled against Fubara, were appointment of persons to occupy offices and positions in the Rivers State government without allowing for the requirement of screening and confirmation as prescribed by the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended. Abimbola side.
Let this water come and pass in rivers, because honestly, this back and forth is just becoming unbecoming, and we can't even find a sense of governance in rivers at the moment. Another report put it at the 9 sins
Of Governor.
of Governor Fubara.
Is it a film?
I don't know the 9 sins, and then put, itemized everything. So I mean, it's a notice, but I don't know. If no one saw this coming, we'll just be lying. We all saw this coming. We also, because again, Nyesom Wike had also alluded to the fact that if, an impeachment notice was served, it wasn't unusual. So we knew that it was going to get to this. But I'm sure that there's still nothing that cannot be solved.
Yeah.
If, everybody can come to a round table and can agree on the way forward. So as much as, we would ask Governor Fubara to do the needful, I think it behoves on the lawmakers to also do the needful here and just allow for sense of reasoning to prevail. Because again, at the end of the day, the question is, are you all fighting for your selfish interest, or are you really fighting for the people of Rivers State? So these are things that they need to consider. And if anything is to go by, a story broke not too long ago that there was an explosion that has rocked one of the creeks in Rivers. I remember, the Egbesu boys had also threatened that if anything happened, they would do this. So we also need to think about Nigeria as a country, because there's really nothing that will happen, with the installations that will not affect us as a people. So let us see how these things can actually end, and let's, governance
Continue.
continue.
Talking about coming to the round table to talk and, of course, chart the path forward. I'm just looking at it, are they being paid out? So who's going to bail the cat? Because over the weekend, I saw the FCT minister when he was hosted by the Kalabari people of Ijo.
Bail the cat. Leave the cat and don't bail the cat. Because it looks like the cat is even becoming sacred.
And he was making all sort of inciting comments.
And nobody.
2 down, 1 more to go.
Yes.
All sorts of
2 down, 1 more to go.
uncomplimentary
And please, what was
comments.
I think the president also needs to
caution him.
Yes.
To order.
He talks too much. And there are
And
some
most of
things that are not
most of his statements are very inciting.
Very.
Inciting.
And they are pregnant words. And if anything is, he should learn to keep quiet. Perhaps even if he keeps quiet, all of these issues will be resolved. But he talks too much.
Anjibola, why are you smiling? I know Wike is my brother.
Yes,
Oh, you were born there.
Let's take your story. I understand our guest is around.
Lagos State government to prosecute woman for improper waste disposal. The Lagos State government has said it will prosecute a woman identified as Nwako patients for allegedly dumping refuse at an undesignated point. The State Commissioner for Environment and Water Resources, Tokunbo Wahab, said that the suspect was arrested on March 13, 2025 at approximately 7:47 a.m. in the Alimosho area of Lagos. The Commissioner said the individual identified as Nwako patient was observed illegally dumping refuse at Alimosho bus stop along New Ikpaja Road. Further investigations at her residence confirmed the absence of a designated waste storage facility, while the suspect claimed to be registered with the private sector participant operator service in the area. She was unable to provide any supporting evidence of such registration or payment for waste collection services. The commissioner added that the suspect would be prosecuted in accordance with the Lagos State Environmental Management and Protection Law of 2017 to ensure compliance with waste management regulations. So she doesn't have a waste storage facility in her house.
Once you run foul of the law,
the
law should take its course.
How is it even convenient? So every day when you are leaving the house, you will carry your waste and go and dump it on the road?
People do it, especially those of them in that area. This is not the first time.
In that area.
Do we have any of our crew living in that side of Lagos? Maybe one of our producers or one of our presenters?
I don't know.
Joshua stays in that side. Adenike too.
Yeah. Almost all the times that Loma has caught people.
It's in that area. It's true. It's in that area.
I think they need some kind of reorientation. We should start from LTV, actually, with Joshua and Adenike.
It is that axis that they always nab them. I really don't know. And, you know, this is not the first time they will do community service. They will face, you know, the law and everything. But people still find comfort or still find joy in taking your refuse out of your house.
Like your handbag. You carry it every morning like your handbag.
I really don't understand, honestly. But I hope that it will serve as a deterrent
to others.
We hope so.
I really hope so, because Lagos people sometimes, you know, I know they hear what.
Why would somebody pack your refuse?
Convenient is that's very inconvenient.
Let's go to the X platform this morning and take a look at one of the many trending stories on the platform. Of course, hashtag 30 Days Rants Challenge is also trending on the X platform this morning. It is the second trend with the highest number of, trends this morning. And of course, I don't know if you both saw our star girl yesterday when she apologized for, what she said. And she said that, she joined the 30 Days Rant Challenge, hoping that in 30 days her voice would be heard. But it was just one day. Somebody that was supposed to be remorseful.
So that was she actually did what she did intentionally.
I mean,
of course,
to trend.
Yeah, she joined the rant challenge.
Haven't you been watching
and a lot of
the rant
people
challenge?
are also now following suit. A lot of people are speaking out. A lot of people are, now also using that opportunity to call out government and say so many things. But then again, the question is there freedom of speech? Yes. But in the freedom of speech, there are also inhibitions. You can also run foul of the law. So, and what I also understand is that the law does not take ignorance as an excuse. So if you don't know anything, just stay out of it. If you do not know the genesis and the revelation, leave it.
Don't jump on it.
So that you also will not fall prey to these issues. So as much as, everybody is saying you have a right to talk, you have a right to call government out, there are limitations to what you can also say, so that your words will not be defamation of someone else's character, will not be libel, will also not be insightful at the end of the day. But young people, how they also jump on challenges, especially on the socials, because for the sakes of, just also wanting to either chase clout or belong.
Freedom of speech,
get likes.
Freedom of speech, like Abimbola said, just be careful with your choice of words. We are not saying that you should not call out government or demand good governance from those that we have elected, but be careful with your choice of words. Don't be rude, and do not defame anybody's character. Just list your demands, as simple as that.
Freedom of speech.
Was going to add something.
Freedom of speech, of course,
it's not absolute.
It's allowed, but freedom after speech is not guaranteed.
Okay. Well, you can go onto the X platform this morning and take a further read on this story. Well, that's it on our news point as well as our hashtag for today. We will take a break. When we return, one of the issues that the lawmakers at the Green Chamber scored, some points on last week will be the final, the approval of the tax reform bills. And like some people will say, the tax reform bills of Mr. President, 4 bills altogether. But of course, members of the House of Representatives have given a nod to the bill, and now all the final thing will be done before it is sent to the President for assent. That's a conversation on the program today. Be sure to join us after a short break.